Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Lighting Your Sunshine, where we like to shine a light within and empower ourselves. So today's intention for today's reading, I'll just show the decks that I want to use first and then I can explain it better. But I wanted to use the Halloween Oracle with the Nightmare Before Christmas because that's the vibe I've been picking up on lately. Here we are, hanging out in summer, right smack dab in summer, and I keep seeing advertisements for Christmas in July. Now this isn't the first time I've seen Christmas in July. It's been a thing, it's been around, and it just seems to be kind of like a marketing gimmick on how we could just like keep the magic of Christmas going. So right now I feel called to say, it's Christmas time and you're always like, man, I wish I could have that magical Christmas time energy all year round. Not just because I'm told I have to at Christmas time and because I have to have the holiday cheer. And the only reason why I'm nice to people and give gifts to people is because I have to, because it's Christmas time. Why don't people treat each other like that all year round? So that's kind of the energy that I've been picking up on with this Christmas in July and actual Christmas time. But then to make things even more confusing, I've been kind of like just looking around and I'm starting to see so much advertisements for Halloween. And as I said, it's July right now. Like there's so many more things to go before that. And yeah. So what did it kind of remind me of? It reminded me of the actual Nightmare Before Christmas. So in the Nightmare Before Christmas, it's their season, right? Halloween. And then Jack Skellington goes to the little clearing in the woods and he can like jump through the tree and each tree leads to like a different time. So we got Christmas time, Easter time, St. Patrick's Day, Valentine's Day, whatever, right? So a lot of these holidays tend to be like I feel like they're more gimmicky and commercial and trying to sell you things. And so yeah, I'm seeing Jack Skeleton go to the holiday area and and like try to take over each one. Because why in the world are we being bombarded with Halloween and Christmas time things? And it seems more likely it's to buy these things. It's not to have the spirit of those holidays. It's like more of a gimmick. So yeah, it seems like what I see is like all those doors have been opened and like whatever energy wants to come out comes. And so we've got Christmas, we got 4th of July, we got Canada Day stuff going on. I got Halloween being shoved in my face. I got all these things and I just want to shake up some cards on it and see why did this aha or insight kind of come to me today. Um, yeah, so let's start with Halloween and then we'll kind of go into the tarot and clarify. Might be a good read, might not. I don't know. But that's what I'm noticing. Have you been noticing those things? Like, for all I know, Valentine's Day stuff will start popping out and be shoved in your face. Okay, so the two cards that came out, three cards, we got three. So the first one we got is invisibility. Because that's what I see. I see like, that's kind of what the holidays are. It's almost like those I'm seeing someone be at their cubicle and they get like two vacations a year or maybe even one vacation a year. And they're like, I work hard, I work hard, I work hard. And then when that holiday comes up, it's like I put on my party hat and I go out there and enjoy. And then, you go back to reality. And that's what I see like these holidays are. It's for you to, it's almost for like the people who are kind of always like, I don't want to say it's a rut, it's almost like a rut and a routine and a responsibility altogether. And so those people don't really have much joy, right? Because they're working and they work, and it's like you do need to stop and take a break. And so that's what I see like holidays kind of are. Once a month there seems to be like a paid holiday or something, and it just seems to be like an extra day for someone to actually take their foot off the gas I'm hearing. Because a lot of what workers do, because I'm picturing more of like someone who works for someone else, someone who has a job, not so much entrepreneurial or something like that. But that also can play into it, right? You got more responsibilities as an entrepreneur. But I'm seeing someone, it's almost like those like really, really hard workers who just work and then they're like, I need someone to come and tell me it's vacation time or something. And so Christmas will come, you'd enjoy that holiday, and then you'd go back to reality. Then the next one would come, New Year's, Valentine's Day, you know, St. Patrick's Day. It's like we've got this ebb and this flow. It just comes briefly. We get to put on this different lens, I'm hearing, or hat or something. We get to party like that energy at that moment, but then we go back to work or jobs or reality, they keep saying. But with this invisibility in reverse, that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing like those doors be open and like everything being bombarded in your face all the time. It's not going away. It's it's just there. And so the word to be with invincibility in the little words here says authenticity. I feel like the more and more that it's in your face, it doesn't have that limited edition. I'm almost seeing like the McRib. The McRib is back. And I think the reason why people get the McRib is because it is so limited time only. If it was on the menu all the time, I don't think it would be up there as equivalent to like quarter pounder, Big Mac, or something like that, you know? So I think that's why there's like the need or the call for it, but there is a need to take it away. And so I feel like that's what holidays are too. There's a need to kind of have that, especially what are the two? Halloween. Halloween seems to be an all the time thing now. But what I'm seeing as the tradition is the veil. But like, right, it's honoring our ancestors. We're getting to the point of the year where things are darker and it's easier for the ancestors to communicate through the veil. And I feel like those little traditions and those things are kind of intertwined in it get lost. And then it becomes part of that mass marketing and things like that. So the next card to come out is werewolf with explore your wildness. And then over here we have the skull of stars with infinite possibilities. Um, so what I'm seeing with the werewolf is like your man, and then like on a full moon you shift, right? And then it's that new energy. And it says explore your wildness. And it's like maybe on Halloween is your time to tap into that trickster energy, that fun and playful energy. Maybe Valentine's Day is to tap more into that romantic energy. Again, you should have these all year round. Um, right? These are just energies that you can embody at all the time. Like, right, I keep seeing, especially when it comes to like Christmas, we should be kind and caring and compassionate and giving all the time, not just because the holidays are among us. And so that's what I see. I see some people kind of shift and morph, and right, it's like a holiday thing. They're like, "Hey, this is how I am," and then they go back to like a Scrooge or a Grinch or something like that. And so I feel like the werewolf a lot of the times it was morphed and changed in the background. But with this invisibility in reverse, this is being seen. So I'm feeling like that these transitions and this like morphing right in front of your eyes and like showing true colors isn't being hidden anymore. And so now it's saying like, okay, well let's tap into the infinite possibilities. So this possibilities I see it as two. I see two things. I see the original intention of like the meaning behind holidays, right? Like I said, Christmas is a time of like connecting with loved ones and like sharing and things like that. And and I see now I'm seeing Halloween as to some it is about that veil and that connecting to the ancestors, and there's a little bit of spirituality and honoring their lives and things like that, right? There's that. And then I'm seeing lifestyle, right? I feel like people are really tapping into their some people into their more witchy side. I don't know, Halloween just seems to be like it's almost like a goth or something like that, right? it's not that they pretend Halloween every day. Like that's how they are all the time. And so I'm seeing people kind of take this aesthetic and keeping it all year round. And so that's what I'm seeing with this star of infinite skull of stars with infinite possibilities. I'm seeing people have a lifestyle. And then I'm seeing others now going back to the visual companies or whatever, being like, let's tap on this, let's tap into this and make more money. There's so much money, right? Because it's a lifestyle. So here we are. We've only been kind of doing Halloween at Halloween time. So now we got like this Jack Skeleton kind of come in and be like, well, let's take over Christmas too. But it's the opposite. It's almost like Christmas is like coming in and being like, we're also going to tap into Halloween and we're going to market this. Like it's opposite because it seems like Christmas has been more and more and more, and they're almost bringing me to like Black Friday sales. Um, I live in Canada, so Black Friday wasn't the biggest thing. Maybe like in the last 10 years or so, it's kind of grown, but it just wasn't a thing. What I don't remember ever seeing crazy stores, and then you'd see like on the internet compared to like the states. And so I remember I worked at some places, and then they would have Black Friday sales, and it was like, oh, okay, like we're kind of copying them. And then next thing I knew, Black Friday sales then became like Black Friday weekend, Cyber Monday. Like it just kept growing and growing and growing. And now there's like Black Friday week sales. It's not so much, it's almost like expanding and expanding. So what I'm seeing is like Black Friday take a day, and then that day turned into a week, and then that week turned into a season, and then it turned into an all the time thing. That's what I'm seeing. It's almost like this infinite possibilities is like these people love Halloween or horror or Christmas and the magic and sugar plums, and it's like let's just twist and mingle all these things. And I guess now I'm feeling a little bit of concern come through of the traditions or the original. I feel like there needs to be a little bit of that McRib limited edition scarcity to it. But let's see what the cards want to share, because that's really my only insight I saw was like, dang, I'm sure seeing a lot of Halloween and Christmas around. It's sure taking over all of life. And then they said, go use these two decks. And then they showed the Jack Skeleton at the holiday trees and all of them mixing and coming out at the same time. That's all I saw. So all this rest about making money and profit and that kind of came through the cards. So how do you find the balance between the two, or what do you want to share about this? Like, is this a positive? Is this something to embrace? Is this a concern? Like, what's up, Spirit? Why is this being bombarded in July of all things? Yeah, because like as I was like shuffling, I was like, what's the next holiday to kind of get excited and amped up for? And I got Lionsgate Portal. That's not really like the holidays that like most people celebrate, but to me, that's what I'm most excited for. That's coming up soon. Lion energy. So we need 5 of these. They're not quite. This is so I got. All right, every single one came out in reverse, and I'm wondering, is this deck even like shuffled that good? I don't really use this deck too often. And it seems like the odd one is in the reverse, but most are. It's not mixed up well enough that way to take reversals, so we're not going to do reversals. But I feel like that's kind of what it is. It's almost like Alice in Wonderland for like what is up, like topsy turvy, the world flipped on itself. I feel like that's the representation of that. But we let's just read these in the upright. So first one to come out is Ten of Presents, and can't help but notice the snake first. But that whole snake is so intertwined. Where's his face? His face is right there. And it's so intertwined all around this. And that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing it like it almost blends. This snake blends in like the presence. But it's like a boa constrictor. It's slowly taking things and squeezing it. And it's almost taking like the fun or the joy. It's almost like at first it starts off as a hug, they say. And you're like, this is fine. It's almost like a weighted blanket. It's like one of that calming and relaxing and nurturing hug I'm feeling. But then eventually it just starts to constrict and so what are they showing me? Now they're showing me as presence. Um, and it's like, how can I get more money out of this person? That's what I see the companies as. Like we want their money. How can we these people are gonna spend no matter what. So let's get them to spend on us. But I'm also seeing the flip side of it as this person, like we want them to spend, right? These people are irresponsible. Or they save because I'm seeing that person who works and works and works and works, and then they have like their savings, all their money goes to the savings, and it's like they're not spending that. How can we get them to tap into that? Because when they finally do have their woohoo day, we want them to spend it on us, and then so that's why I'm seeing just making things easier access, and yeah, I'm seeing I feel like it's almost like draining. It's too much, is what they're saying. So, anyways, let's just move on. I feel like I will come back to this. There's more to this, but yeah. So the next one to come out is the Two of Potions, Two of Cups. This is what you're doing, what you're asked not to do. And so that's what I also kind of saw. I saw that that person had their savings or they had something, and then I saw I saw them not quite have enough money. I saw two things. I saw them scrolling for a rainy day or a vacation, or just this money is like I work hard now and I go through the pain so that I could spend this money later and enjoy myself. And then I see someone being like, well, how can we get that money? And so it's almost like emotional, and it's like they see you and they don't really want you to think. It's almost like we want you to act impulsively and spend your money on, you know, Christmas and Halloween and holidays and the spirit. But I'm also seeing buying presents for people that you can't afford. Right? Christmas can be so expensive. So it's kind of nice to have it that one time. And now I'm seeing it almost be like all the time now that to some it's more of a burden. And you know what? 10 of presents. I should have went through this, but I really feel like what do we got? We got candles. I feel like presents is pentacles and that this is a positive card, but I'm seeing it as 10 of wands for some reason. So I got candles, which would be wands. That's fire energy. We got candles. We got needles, which would be swords. Needles, potions are cups, and presents is pentacles. So, so like, I think that's why. Okay, I know that this is pentacles. I know that presents and earthly material, that this is a positive card. And I feel like that's what the holidays are, but it did lay underneath the werewolf. And so that's where that transformation or change is coming. And so I'm feeling more of it does start off like this, right? The werewolf does start off as the man in the, we'll say the man in his human form is the pentacles. It's the 10 of pentacles. It's that happy underneath the tree. You got your loved ones around, right? You're handing out the gifts. You're doing all those kind of things. But I think with all the doors open, I'm seeing everything get mixed and matched and mixed up and those kind of things. And now I'm seeing it changed. This appears to be happy, but it's not the same because Christmas in July is not Christmas. It is a marketing tactic. They keep saying we want you to have that love and that joy all year round, but it's not the things of that spirit that we want you to do. We want you to share the kindness and the love and the compassion, or seeing like Noel, or like the ancestors of it, the real meaning of all these holidays. So what you're doing that you're asked not to do is to go out there and fill up your cup so frivolously when it's restricting, when you don't really have enough in your cup to give. So then the one that you're asked to do, man, this is weird. This is the energy that you are asked to do about this. So we got the Three of Needles, which, no, that's the Four of Needles. Oh, okay, because I was like, Three of Needles does not make sense in this reading right now. Like, how are we going to incorporate this? I thought I was going to take another loop-de-loop spin, right? Because Three of Needles would have been all heartbreak, but that's not what this is. And I'm like, phew, because I was like, I didn't see that coming. But maybe you don't with the werewolf. But with the Four of Swords, the Four of Needles, that's someone staying up at night, being stuck in their mind, and underneath it, because two of them did come out, we had the Page of Candles. I feel like I want to read this one. But with the Four of Needles, it's someone staying up at night. It's mental energy. I want to say intellect, but it's not quite using that intellect in a positive way. It's worrying. So that's where I feel like it's like wanting things to be so perfect. I'm seeing someone want things to be perfect all the time. It's almost like a keeping up with the Joneses energy. And then trying to make these moments, and those moments never really work out how we try to control it because we're trying to control. But I'm also seeing someone overspend. And spirit's kind of warning like, don't stay up all night and worry, right? Because it's that savings, that money was meant to go for like a vacation. That's what I see. I just see someone who works really really hard and they've got their savings squirreled away. And of course these companies, they're just things, they don't care how you spend your money. But I'm seeing that things that would be more important would be to have that memory, right? Go on a vacation, buy that, what's that thing, the big one where you can live in it, the, I want to say fifth wheel trailer or motorhome. That's what I'm trying to say. Like go on that and do like the adventure, because that's what I see. I see with this mental intellect, worry. It's like, man, I don't got enough money to buy the presents that I want. I don't have enough money to contain maintain the facade kind of that I've been doing. I've just got things, and so I'm seeing someone work and work and work, and then when it's time to like, kind of go on that vacation or whatever that rainy day fund was or whatever that was, um, not being able to tap into it because now they have things. Um, what about the things though? They say if you took the trip or if you had spent the money the way that you were planning, right? You knew what this savings was kind of for. But if you, let's say you actually take that and you put it on a trip, whereas this card is representing staying up all night and worrying, how am I going to make this work? And like, oh, I wish I did this. I wish I did that. And that I feel like if you take a trip or you do something that creates memories. Now, this is a positive card as long as you have the positive emotions to go with it. It's not the things that are going to make that happy, warm feeling, but it's the funny stories and the laughs and the synchronicities and those kind of things that go with it. So let's say you do save your money, you buy that motorhome, you go on that vacation you guys have already been talking about. Instead of staying up at night being worried about what you missed out on or couldn't afford or something, you're like, remember that time we went camping at that one national park, and then this popped out, and then we saw the goat, and then the raccoon was there, and like that was the coolest moments. And then remember when we ran out of gas as we were coming down the mountain? That was funny. Or like, I don't know, something like that. Like, I don't know why the mountain kind of came. I just heard she'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. And now I'm actually remembering one time we had vehicle problems. We were driving in the mountains and we had to like go down this one mountain. The brakes and everything worked, but the car wasn't working. And I remember we like coasted in. We went down this mountain and we coasted and we made it to the mechanic place. Like that was kind of, no, we didn't. They came and got us, but we made it so far. And it was just like, that's kind of what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that moment, but your story, your twist, your spin on it. So, Page of Candles in the upright. The Page of Candles represents someone who is full of fresh, innovative, creative ideas. He's ready to soar, but may not yet have the solid, stable foundation necessarily to move forward and bring those great ideas to life. So, that's what this little dude is. And that came with, that was this. This was representing that. So this one's saying it's not quite stable. And so rather than staying up at home worrying, I don't know. I just feel like it's a lot of unnecessary things. It's joy in the moment, but not in the long run. It's like down the road when you're trying to sleep. What will make you feel good when you put your head on your pillow? Is the kind of question coming through. So the next one to come out, this is just like underlying factors of the situation. But we have, I was going to say nine, it is nine. Nine of potions. So that's nine of cups. That's a happy, okay, so we got the nine of cups, and then the final outcome of it is the six of cups. So I feel like these two kind of go together. But do you notice, Kate? So the Nine of Cups is like happy contentment. It's like you've worked really hard at what you do. And what I see instead is rather than the things outside of yourself, building and doing all those things, I feel like material wealth will come, but it's that building of memories and joy and fun times. You know that when it comes to these holiday seasons, that getting flowers on Valentine's Day and chocolate on Easter and presents on Christmas isn't the meaning of all these holidays. That there is something much more in depth to it. And the more that you focus on the real meaning of these holidays, that's when you will have that's when you'll start to fill up all your cups. So I'm seeing all of these as different containers and different substances, they say. And so maybe this one is Valentine's Day, right? We got red, then we got St. Patrick's Day. It's like the spirit of all these holidays is a energetic frequency. It's a love. It's not a love. It's like an archetype, energy, vibration. There's a purpose and meaning to it. And so I think a lot of these holidays are geared towards our inner child. And so that's what this one's kind of coming at. This is the Six of Cups, Six of Potions, I mean. And this is remembering things in the past with like nostalgic memory. And so, especially like as a kid, when you would come downstairs and you would rush down to that Christmas tree and you would see everything, that's what you, I feel like that's what everyone is trying to get, right? Contain. But that is not something that a company can bottle up for you. Even though, yes, someone can build a bike, someone can buy that bike, and you can get that bike, and you run down the Christmas and you find that you got a bike. But it's really the adventures on the bike. It's all the things that come after it. And and it doesn't have to be the best bike. It could be a bike that you built from scratch, right? It's just nostalgic memories. And so, oh, now that I just said that, I'm sorry, I'm kind of like telling a little bits of myself. But when I was little, I grew up really poor, actually. And I think there was one Christmas, I didn't even know that we were poor. I didn't know that we were struggling. And so when it came to Christmas time, my dad, he was a very creative guy, and he built all our Christmas presents. So I got this like school bus or something like that that he like carved and painted and like drew all these little things on it. And yeah, my brother got this airplane, and they were awesome. I feel like that those kind of things have a lot more meaning to it in the long run. So even as we're like moving, we're like, hey, there's that thing that like dad made, rather than, going to the store and buying one. This one has real love behind it, like soul and personality. So I wanted to read this page of candles one more time. That's what I saw with like the bike and building. And yeah. So actually, even when I was little, there's a little bit of energy of like they're using okay, so spirit always tells you when it comes to intuition, they give you examples. So sometimes I feel like I'm talking about myself, and I don't mean to project my stuff onto it, but it's just examples of what I know, so that spirit tells me to incorporate for you. And so, yeah, I'm not talking about my dad, but they're using examples. So, yeah, my dad used to go and make all these Christmas presents. And in the summertime, he would take his free time and he would go and build bikes, and then he would sell those bikes. Interesting. Totally forgot about those memories. I was just talking and talking, and then it kind of like clicked. That's okay. So there we are, not making much money. My dad's making bikes in the summer, which in a sense is kind of selling. I don't know. They're showing Christmas in summertime. I'm missing something. There's something about this that spirit is trying to I've learned something through all this, but I don't know what to tell you that I've learned. Let me read this one card real quick because that's what I want to do too. Oh, yeah. This guy says the Page of Candles represents someone who's full of fresh, innovative, and creative ideas. He's ready to soar, but may not have the solid, stable foundation necessarily to move forward and bring those great ideas to life. And so that's kind of what I got with like how my family grew up, right? At Christmas time, we did get lots of presents, but we didn't know that really there was no money for those presents. And it was that like love and that creation and everything kind of put into it. So now I'm seeing in summer. Let me pull more cards. I want to use more of the Halloween ones. I almost see it as saying like now I'm seeing like companies. I don't know. I just keep seeing someone spend on things because they feel pressured from companies. Like, but mom, I want this. But I don't know. I'm missing something. So we got Barnbrack with sweetness and synergy. We got the ancestors. Oh, I got it. And then we got the black cat. Remember how I kept talking about like the whole purpose of Halloween, right? And that's what we're at. We're mishmashing all these holidays together that they're kind of becoming like this one thing. Um, that's what I feel like this brimbrack is. Barnbrack. I've never had it. I don't know what it is, but it looks like bread and dessert, and it says it's sweetness. So I kind of want to try it. But that's what I see. I see like sweetness and synergy. I feel like these doors in these places and all these energies have been like open and they're twisting and turning, and that's what I see like bread as. Like you take flour, milk, eggs, whatever is in your recipe, and you mix it. So now I'm seeing like Christmas and Halloween and Easter and all these things kind of get twined together to create something new. And that something new is this sweetness and this energy. Synergy, not energy, synergy. And synergy reminds me of synchronicities. But the one where I'm like, why do we keep talking about my dad? Like, I can't freaking understand why all these examples of what he did kind of growing up are coming up and out. But it's the ancestors. The whole purpose of Halloween is because that's the thinnest of the veil. That's when we can go and talk to our passed over loved ones and honor them. And so maybe my father is not passed over, but in this reading, it's saying to honor our friends and family and their hard work that they do. So, as I said, my dad was always working his job, and then in his free time, he was like, I can't just go to the store and spend this. So he took his time, which is more precious and valuable than things. And he thought and he tapped into this page of candles energy and created and he invented um, things out of nothing. There's like a block of wood and he made all these things come to reality. So the lore and legacy of our DNA. The lore and legacy of our DNA is to enjoy the memories, to enjoy the moments. As this one said, this one was up all night worrying. But let's say you didn't go out, especially for this person who can't afford all these things when they're just things. But you can create, you can find something simple, and you can take even, I almost seeing like a cake at a store. And let's say you have like, you want to make like, you have to bring the dessert, but you can buy a thing of frosting or maybe like some tips or something and make it even more special. But you didn't go and buy like, sometimes cakes are expensive because they put so much time, effort, and work into it. But it's the time and effort that they put into it. There's knowledge and skill as well, but with more practice, you will get up there just as quick too. And so that's what it is. I see it's like just you taking your energy and sharing your energy with others. It doesn't matter what's below the tree. Because as this one started off with this snake, started off as that, what did I say it was? That heavy blanket. What's that heavy blanket called? Weighted blanket. And it's like a hug. And so at first, it's like it starts off like that. But I keep seeing like the more and more the things keep spewing all year round. It's not just its moment anymore. It's starting to be a little bit confining and constricting. And there is a little bit of this change going on. And this change is like, okay, so I heard with this werewolf, it says explore your wildness. I'm hearing like it's wild. My guides are coming through. Some of them, normally I have guides who are like, angelic or something, but this one I'm getting like uh, ancestors. And so the ancestors are like watching what we're doing right now, and they're the ones saying like, this is wild. Like how has this been allowed to go on for like this long kind of thing? And I don't know, they just keep like looking at the way things are and it's not like in a judgmental way. Like they're saying like this is wild, like not to stop it. It just is what it is. But it's for you. The only thing that they're concerned with is that whole ancestor thing. It's all about remember who you are. Remember to live authentically from your heart because that's what this was all about. The invisibility was all about authenticity. It was in reverse. And so the more and more that we go away from family and traditions and honoring and ancestors and things like that and make it about things, right? The more presents I have on the tree, the more things I buy, the better. Um, that will be a great disservice to us. And that's the only thing that they're kind of a little, they're not really judgmental. It like they say, it is what it is, but we hope you don't forget who you are and where you came from. So the last card of this, is it 39 minutes already? Damn. These go by fast. I really feel like I haven't been saying much, but time flies when you're working with spirit. And I feel like saying that. They're like, time flies when you're working with spirit, which is your ancestors, all these things. And that's what they're saying is like, in their day, from the way things were, I almost see, I'm seeing this as fruitcake or whatever for the season. They're like, we would make a something. I'm hearing figgy pudding, fruitcake, or uh, we make something and then like that almost was enough. And then the way they are now, it's almost like now I need a bike, now I need a car, now I need the rollerblades, now I need the latest. I've seen, it doesn't matter. The latest things. I need the things, and they're just like that. That's not actually what all these traditions started off as. And so now all these traditions have grown and grown and grown, and now it's taking over all year round. It's like Christmas in July is no longer a thing. It's Christmas all the time, but without like the magic or the soul of it. That didn't start all year round. It's just the things, and so our ancestors are just watching it. It's just freaking wild. So, what's the last card? We got a kitty cat, and it says, "Fortune meets opportunity," which lands on this nostalgic Six of Cups, Six of Potions, and then that Six of Potions with nostalgia lands on the Skull of Stars, which is infinite possibilities. So we have infinite possibilities meets fortune and opportunity. So what about this? I want to pull some of these cards. I feel like they're showing me a box and how they're showing me someone at their cubicle box who works really really hard, and every day they're like, I need to work really really hard, and then I can go on vacation or I can get my holiday. And so those holidays are almost like the reason that they do what they do, because there's an end goal. The holiday is the end goal. And so now that things are all the time, I'm seeing, as again, I said, there's some people who are like goths that like Halloween isn't really a holiday for them, it's a lifestyle. So now I'm almost seeing like holidays turn into lifestyles. And so now that's where fortune meets opportunity with the infinite possibilities. And so they're like, you always said at Christmas that you don't really like that everyone's just nice at Christmas time because they have to be, because that's the spirit. They get caught up in that, hearing the little Whoville people sing, do, 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 and then other people join. And then I see the circle getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Because I'm seeing someone be like, I don't like musicals. And then, yeah. So now, as I say, if we take this as a lifestyle, right? Maybe there's Halloween things all year round, not because we're pushing the holiday, but we're pushing the lifestyle. Maybe the Christmas lifestyle, romanticism. I was just watching, what was I just looking at? Art. I was watching a painting, German, what's the, I think the style of it was called German romanticism. And that, hey, look, there's the Three of Needles. That's the one where I thought that this one was the one that was all about worry and heartache. Worrying and staying up at night and like the mind just being like, and I thought it was the heartache. And I was like, how does this even work? Well, it doesn't work because we've got this is heartache, but it's in reverse. Three of Needles. So with this fortune meets opportunity and this infinite possibilities, I do feel like there is a chance for everyone to kind of learn to bring that energy all year round. Whereas now I'm seeing this person at the cubicle embody the spirit of what the holiday was. So then now they don't need to go on holidays to feel that joy, to feel that end goal. So now that there's no end goal, they embody that, the magic of Christmas, the love of Valentine's Day, the the ancestors and the connection to their ancestors at Halloween, the magic of life. What's the end goal? And it says because of that, because you tap in and learn these things, there is no end goal. That you now live a life that you embody. So that saves you and your heart from because I see almost like holidays come and you get so wound up in it and then it's taken away or it's gone. And then it's there and then it's gone. And I see like that back and forth being heartbreaking, right? And then it's like, why can't we just be in this joy forever? And so that's what I see starting to happen. It is a little bit, oh, I was going to say a little superficial. And three, and then we're done. I said, I feel like it's a little superficial because right now it's about things, but it's almost like, as it shows, it keeps showing the possibilities and fortune, that lifestyle and those things blending. And I see it taking a turn. So the one that came out was the Emperor. We got Santa Claus, who's the Emperor. And then we got the Queen of Needles, which is Queen of Swords in reverse. So it goes Queen of Swords in reverse to the Emperor to Seven of Presents in reverse. So Queen of Needles is Queen of Swords in reverse. So that's someone trying to take advantage of others, which I kind of see as businesses. Obviously, you want to sell your product, you want to thrive. But when it comes to holiday and we make it only about things, that's where it's manipulative. And that's not really what we want for this holidays. But I'm seeing the Emperor kind of shine through, and with that embodying as this would be Seven of Pentacles. This would be like a need to like fine tune your where you spend your money. And so that's what I see now is not things being greedy and I need these things, I need these presents. If I buy this present, this person, like, and then drawing yourself short and staying up all night, being like, do I even have the money to support all this? I see you embodying the spirit. So right now, with all these holidays and mass commercialization or consumerism, whichever word is the correct one, um, we're at a balancing point right now. I see the reason that it's unfolding is because there is this infinite possibilities and there is a need for them to kind of like tap in on that market. People really are stepping into their unique fun energy and they want to hold that and maintain it more. So now I'm seeing rather than being all about things and manipulation and going back and forth between this werewolf and this whole back and forth between this werewolf is this card where it's like 10 of Pentacles, happy, fun, happy, to 10 of Wands where it's now a burden, right? Happy is Christmas time, Christmas tree, but then after Christmas, I'm left with debt and burden. And so it's like that back and forth, that back and forth. So from stepping out of this Queen of Swords, out of that debt and that negative, I feel it's only negative because it leaves you in this energy and worry and mind, and that clarity is not there. And so there's a need to kind of like fine tune and find your jolly. Like what's the real spirit of Christmas? Like who is Saint Nick? What is the myths or the stories about him? And it's not really about presents. Like they're saying go back to why you want a gift because there's something there. Why you want a gift? Go back to that childhood memory. Remember it. There's a reason why you want to give it because there's something that felt so good when you did that. Um, there's a childhood something associated to it, and it's like that how it felt so good. That's the spirit or the joy of the holiday. It's not the thing, and it never was the thing, and it never will be the thing because when we go back and hang out with our ancestors, um, their traditions started off as something so simple as just getting everyone together for a meal and maybe filling up a stocking with just maybe a couple candies and socks or a word puzzle or something like that. And it just seems to have, as they said, this is wild. It's unfolded to extreme consumerism. And so I feel like now that the doors are open and there's all these energies that can like just come out at any time. It doesn't really have that limited edition. It doesn't really go away and come back. Um, there is a chance to embody that energy all year round. There is a chance to be that merry and joy and bright and all those well wishes. So it says enjoy the moments while you can. Enjoy the friends, the family, the company. But if you can't extend yourself further, they never want you to. They want you to. Your fortune favors the bold. And again, that bold would have been this guy, who is that creative one. Maybe he had nothing to offer, but his presence alone is enough. But then it goes back to this one, how it was like a very creative force, and how even my father, like I said, we grew up so poor, but we had great Christmases because he saw a block of wood and he made something come out of it. And it was something so simple. And, and I bet he felt so proud that Christmas because he really did work hard. And I feel like that's the real accomplishment. Remember to thank your ancestors and see where are we coming from, where are we now, and where are we going. Because right now, um, there's so much potential. There's so much to embody, and they say, you know what? We're not really mad that there's all this Christmas in July, Halloween in July, all these things blending and out at the time, because they're like in our day, like if we really wanted pumpkin something, like we had to wait. It's so nice that you have the convenience right now, but the only thing they say is enjoy it, enjoy that nostalgic moment, and and hopefully you don't step into your Queen of Swords energy too much, where this becomes a burden. Don't let it keep you up at night that you have to keep up with the Joneses and all those kind of things. Um, if it hurts your heart, it's not a good frequency. It's not the right energy. There are infinite possibilities. You just have to step into your soul. Because when I see like this emperor, I see it as the emperor's like, I'm in charge of what I do when I do it. And so now I'm seeing again that Christmas, or no, how sometimes Halloween is a lifestyle, like that gothic energy. And that's you just stepping in and owning your power, your energy. Here's the Emperor. He's embodying Santa energy all year round because he knows that he can be bossy, but he can also be giving. So, I don't know, I feel like this has gone on really long. We'll leave it there. I hope you enjoyed it. I really didn't know what was going to come through or the message or if it was quite concise, but that's what I saw. So, we'll leave it there. I hope you guys have a good day, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.